is Ochanya Ogbanje. She's currently late. When she was just 8 years old, they sent her to go and stay with her auntie. The husband of the auntie she went to stay with and the son, a grown-up man, raped her severally. They started raping her when she was just 8 years old. So the man and his son started sleeping with her from the annals.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss the painful story of a 13-year-old girl who was molested from the age of 8 by two men, an uncle and the uncle's son, until her poor body could no longer hold it. By the age of 13, she gave up and passed. I saw a comment on Facebook as this story was flying around, justice for Ochanya everywhere. Someone commented that the girl is not as innocent as people are saying. Otherwise, why didn't she tell someone all those years? That comment broke my heart as much as the story. The ignorance of it, the idiocy of it. I couldn't believe it. How can someone make such a stupid comment about a poor little girl? So today we're going to unpack that, why kids don't tell, the medical aspect of it, speaking from a medical standpoint, what actually happens to the body, and the mental aspect of it, so we can get a better understanding of it and maybe be able to protect our children. Now, Ochanya was a girl born in Benue State. Her parents sent her to live with the mom's sister and auntie and the auntie's family at the age of 8. Not because they want luxury for her, not because they just wanted her to live in the city, but because they wanted her to obtain basic education. There was no school in their village at that time. Hence, the government have failed her. So when she got to the city, instead of obtaining education that would propel her into a better life, she met with monsters. She met with exploiters. She met with people that eventually took her life. The people that were supposed to protect her. Instead, they exploited her. That is the story of Ochanya. From what I gathered online, Ochanya was complaining of painful urination and foul odor. Her organs were failing, and eventually they gave up, and she passed at the age of 13. Now, some people may ask, why didn't she tell? She eventually got the courage to tell, but by the time she told her mom, it was already too late. The damage were too severe, and her poor body could no longer hold up. Children don't tell because they process trauma differently from adults, especially when it's coming from someone they trust. It's mixed with shame, mixed with confusion, mixed with fear. Some of these adults they trust make them to believe that they can still trust them. Trauma bonding is called trauma bonding. And sometimes they are manipulated into believing that is love. Some are manipulated into believing that is normal. Some are even told that is a game they're playing and it should be a secret. Some kids are threatened that if you tell anyone, they will unalive them. Poor children that are barely just trying to grow up. The right question is, how could they tell? Now, medically speaking, when a child is repeatedly forced to do intercourse, their body is not quite developed for that. There is something that can happen called the VVF, where the lining between the bladder and the vagina is destroyed, causing them to leak urine, causing bacteria to invade their organs. Bacteria can travel through the fallopian tube to their wombs, even to their kidneys. And eventually, if care is not taken, this can take their life. And some of them, even if they recover, they suffer for the rest of their lives. Some can no longer have children. We're not even beginning to talk about the emotional trauma that they carry for the rest of their life. So, in as much as in Ochanya's story, I didn't quite get a definite medical report of how she passed. I believe I saw something about 2 autopsies. One said that she passed of natural causes. The other one said she passed of complications from sexual abuse. But anyway, we can all agree that for a child of 8 years old, it only makes sense that she passed off those complications. So what unalived Ochanya is not just abuse, it's the aftermath of leaking urine, infections that probably traveled causing pelvic inflammation, organ failure, may have even become septic. That means bacteria traveling all over her body. There are some kids that cannot speak. There are some kids that are afraid. There are some kids that are not properly equipped to know what to do in such situations. So the key is awareness. Spread awareness. Talk to your children. I'm going to make a separate video on how to talk to children about abuse so they can recognize it. And when they have been spoken to about it already, they will be more empowered to say something because the fear will not be there. They might not even fear that they will be blamed. So, in a nutshell, what we can do is to educate these children and also watch them. If a child suddenly becomes withdrawn, maybe starts bedwetting, and maybe starts avoiding certain adults or not wanting to go to a certain place, don't keep quiet. Look into it. Figure out why. Believe them when they tell you something. Accept when they tell you they don't want to go to see a certain person. That is the key. Pay attention to children. Bring them close so they can feel free to tell you stuff. Don't always just shout and scream at them. Listen to the children. Listen to them. Ochanya's story should not be forgotten. She died because the people that are meant to protect her destroyed her system, and eventually she couldn't help it. Justice for Ochanya. Let this be an awakening of the society to protect the innocent children. Let this be a lesson to every parent that wants to send their child to somewhere else. If you must send your child to live with another family, you must have a way to keep an eye on that child. Let's spread the awareness. She died of a broken body and a broken system. The family couldn't protect her, and the government couldn't protect her. If you know of someone in this situation, you suspect a child is being abused, speak up. Don't keep quiet, because anybody that is protecting an abuser or a molester, he or she herself is a molester. You are not protecting the family name. You're not protecting your husband or your brother. You're protecting evil, and you are destroying a soul. And no soul should go because somebody decided to be foolish. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, share, so this awareness can continue to be spread. And justice for Ochanya. May God bless you.
Her name is Ochanya Ogbanje. She's currently late. That means she's dead. When she was just 8 years old, this girl said she's 13 years old. She was not up to the age of this girl. Most of us here, we are here from our guardians, our aunties. We are living with our aunties, not with our parents. They sent us to go and stay with our aunties. The husband of the auntie she went to stay with, and the son, a grown-up man, raped her severally. They started raping her when she was just 8 years old. So, the man and his son started sleeping with her from the anus. The man and his son slept 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11, 12 until she was 13. She developed a lot of infections. She developed a lot of disease, a lot of sickness. And that was